Hey guys, it's the Boxing Day sale. Well, it's actually not Boxing Day, it's actually the day after Boxing Day, but the sales are still on. And I bought something today which I believe can be a really important part of my vlogging setup for 2020. For most of last year, since I started this YouTube channel and started vlogging, I've been using a combination of two things. I've been using the camera that you currently see right now, which is the Canon EOS R with a 10 to 18mm lens. And for most part, it's been an awesome kit for me. I've got the Rode microphone on top and it does everything I needed to do. It provides excellent video quality. And I've actually taken this camera and shot a wedding with it. And the only drawbacks I find with this camera setup is, number one, it's obviously a bit bulky. It's something you can't really just carry around whenever you want to. And two is with the 1.6 times crop factor, it makes it really difficult to vlog and take quality photos, and I'll explain to you what I mean. The first thing is that when I vlog and I have the camera pointing at me like this, I have to use a very, well, at least a fairly wide angle lens to fit some of the background in, and I've been resorting to this really good 10 to 18mm, but it's certainly not a lens that I would use for still photography, and I ended up having to bring two lenses everywhere. So that's the only other thing that I think it's not ideal about this setup. Otherwise, I think that this kit is awesome. The other part of the kit I've been using is the DJI Osmo Pocket. Now, I've done a couple of videos about the DJI Osmo Pocket in the past, and in principle it's actually a really awesome little video camera. It's tiny, it's gimbal stabilized, the image quality is awesome. There's only a couple of things that I found is that yes, the video was really good. The gimbal doesn't really protect you from the up and down movement when you're walking, which I find is a little bit distracting in the videos. The other things I find is there is no external microphone, so the sound can be a little bit dodgy, especially when it's a day like today where it's so windy outside. You're not going to get the best audio. And the three, I guess, is the most distracting thing after a whole year of use is that you don't get a replaceable battery. So once your battery's flat, that's it until you charge it. Yes, you can charge it using an external power pack if you need to, but the cord is underneath, so you can't stand it up whilst you're using it in that configuration. And two is, for some reason I haven't been able to get the Osmo Pocket to charge beyond 86% for a couple of months now. I don't know why. And actually a third thing is, there's been a number of times when the camera would not turn back on after I pulled it out of the charger. It does turn back on if you turn it on before you remove it from the plug, but I've had a couple of situations where I've charged it, turned off at the power point, pulled the plug out and then took it away. And then when I got to where I wanted to use the video, I have found that I've not been able to physically turn the camera on without plugging it back into a power source, which is really, really, really bad. I don't know if it's a software fault or whatever, but I find that to be a really bad thing because I have missed some really important video because I've not actually physically been able to turn the camera on. Now, I feel like in 2020 I'm going to continue using the Canon EOS R setup because I really love it. But I'm trying to find a replacement now for the DJI Osmo Pocket, something that is really pocketable, delivers good video quality, and basically has some degree of stabilization so that the footage is steady. And I've been looking around like that for a couple of months, and I came across three possible choices. And in this video, I'm going to tell you which camera I decided to buy. So before we get started, if you like my stuff, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up for this video, and if you have any comments, leave a comment down below. So as I was saying, I've been researching potential smaller rigs for my vlogging, and I came to a conclusion that there were three cameras that were possibly suitable for my needs. The first one, which is the most expensive, is the Sony RX100 Mark VII. And it's a top-of-the-line compact Sony camera which basically has all the bells and whistles. It has as good an autofocus system apparently as the Sony A9. It is small, it's got a zoom lens, it's got 4K, no crop, it's got lots of autofocus points and had a lot of stuff going for it. I've read a lot of reviews for that, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos about it, and everyone says it's like one of the best vlogging setup. The only things that I guess, in my opinion, are not as good as one is the price, retailing at approximately $1,900 Australian. The other thing I find a little bit annoying is that there is no hot or cold shoe, so there's nowhere to mount an external microphone, even though they have included an external mic port. So you're going to have to get some sort of frame or cage so you can mount the microphone on a cold shoe. So that was one option. The other option I was looking at potentially was the Canon G7X Mark III, and it has, again, all the bells and whistles. Some of the weaknesses in this camera, from what I gleaned, number one, the most important one, the one that I never could get past, despite all the other positives of this camera, was the fact that it doesn't have dual pixel autofocus. And there have been a lot of reports on YouTube that the focusing on this camera was less than satisfactory. They released a firmware update which apparently fixed a lot of the problems, but I'm still a little bit suspicious, and I wasn't keen to pony up the $1,000 or whatever it costs for the G7X Mark III and take that risk. When you consider it has kind of the same drawbacks as the Sony RX100, it means that there is no external, even though they've now included again the external mic socket, there is no way of mounting an external mic on the camera without some sort of other frame/rig setup. Now, I haven't mentioned that one of my favorite things about the EOS R is the fact that the viewfinder, apart from being able to go up and down, it actually swivels out. So it allows you to swing the viewfinder or the LCD screen outwards so it doesn't go up, which affects it. If you put an external mic on a hot shoe, you're not going to be able to see the viewfinder, and the ones that flip down the bottom. And similarly with that, you're not going to be able to mount it on a tripod and be able to see what you're doing. So that's what made the EOS R so good. And the third and final camera that I took into consideration when I was building up this potential 2020 vlogging rig is something that I guess a lot of people wouldn't have considered as a vlogging camera, but I think that there are a lot of benefits to it, and it's as yet an incomplete system, and I'll explain why in a second. And the camera I ended up buying is actually this. So it's the GoPro Hero 8 Black. The thing about this GoPro Hero 8 Black is it's an action camera, as you all know, so it's got all that waterproof stuff, and it's improved significantly over the generations. I remember getting my first GoPro, which was a GoPro 3 or something, and the battery life was so bad that I remember I took it to the zoo one day, I went on the cable car, and after the cable car it was about 40% battery left. And I hated it so much that I actually sold it on eBay the next day and hadn't bought one since until the Hero 6. I used that on a gimbal, and it worked well, and it didn't survive for some reason a trip to the beach, even though it was waterproof. I think some sand got in it and it got all weird and yuck and stuff like that. I'm sure it still works, but anyhow, I've moved on, and right now the GoPro Hero 8 comes in a special bundle. It's $60 off as well, so all this stuff is worth like $750, and you currently can get it for $539. Apart from the GoPro Hero 8, you get an extra battery, you get a 32GB micro SD card, you get a tripod thing, and you get something that you mount on your head. The thing about this camera is it shoots 4K, it has all this slow-mo, time-lapse and all this kind of stuff. It's got Hypersmooth 2.0, and from what I can gather, this image stabilization has been so good that a lot of people are talking about no longer needing to have a gimbal with this GoPro because the action and the motion is so steady. I'm really keen to check that out. Now, I've also, in addition to that, I picked up a dual battery charger and an extra battery because I hate having to plug stuff into the camera to charge. It gives you an extra battery anyway, and you can actually charge it externally. And as with any camera, I hate plugging stuff into the camera in terms of charging the camera battery whilst the battery's in the camera. So, as I said before, this I consider currently to be an incomplete vlogging setup for a couple of reasons. The major one I can think of right at this point is with the GoPro Hero 8 is that there is no way to see yourself when you are doing your vlog if you're pointing the camera at you without using your phone. Yes, there are other rigs you can set up and stuff like that, but you don't have a front-facing screen, so you can't actually see yourself. But that's all going to be fixed with the new mods that are coming out apparently within the next 1 to 2 months. There's three basically. There's one that allows you to mount an external microphone, which is going to be amazing. There's going to be one that has an LED light, which is going to be cool as well. And there's another one which is going to have a viewfinder that you can mount on the mod that allows you to look at yourself basically, because there will now be a screen that's facing the same direction as the lens. The only things that made me hesitate about this GoPro Hero 8 Black is the fact that with the lens now, it's in a different configuration, so you can no longer replace the front cover of the lens, and there's no way to put a lens cap on it. I don't know if that's going to be a problem. They say with the new Gorilla Glass is 2 times stronger than the previous version of the GoPro, so I'm going to try my best to protect it. Hopefully it doesn't get like damaged in any way. So when these three mods come out, they're retail for between like $90 and $120 each. So even with that even if you paid the recommended retail price, which is I think $699, it makes it about the same price as the Canon G7X Mark III without the shortcomings of the autofocus, and I think that's a deal breaker for me. And it still makes it about half the cost of the Sony RX100 Mark VII. So I really feel like with the size, with the portability, this could be the rig that's going to change my vlogging in 2020 once these mods arrive. So I'm not really going to unbox this GoPro 8 right now because it's going to be the same as every other video you've seen on YouTube, but as I said, I'm going to be interested in testing out the accessories, and in the next part of this video we're going to take it out and we're going to see what it can do and show you some of the footage that I can get from this camera, and hopefully it's good. So here I am in the flesh. I don't really know what I can see right now. It's at the 34mm setting. Hopefully my whole head fits in the screen, but I'll find out. As I said, with the mod, it'll be heaps better. So what are we going to get?
Just need 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's not huge.
And 8 solids. Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
If you want to. Oh, as well. So here we are at the beach. This is Uvina and it's absolutely rammed today. There's people everywhere. It's a Sunday, so I guess that's the norm. What ice cream we're getting?
Rainbow ice cream. Yeah, rainbow ice cream.
Mum's got all the ice cream. How do you feel about that?
Good.
So I'm standing near girls are riding bikes, and have you seen that hideous looking weeping angel thing behind me? Looks like it's out of Doctor Who, and it's scary as anything. So this is the quality of the 4K footage. It's about 7:30 at night, so it's pretty dark, and I just wanted to see what the footage looks like when there is relatively low light. And this is me holding the camera in front of me with the included bonus tripod thingy. It's on linear, so you can see roughly how much space there is behind me and around me, so it gives you an idea of, you know, what I said before was that with the EOS R there is a tight crop, so I have to use a 10 to 18mm lens so I can get some background in, and I don't have the same problem here with the GoPro. So with the highly anticipated LCD screen, it's going to give me a better idea of how I'm going to frame the picture. So I've got to wait for the mod to come in, and then the LCD screen apparently it's not going to come till at least March, so there's a bit of a wait, but I'm just going to make do with what I've got right now. So we're at the park and it's hot, like 40 degrees hot. So we'll last here about 2 minutes and then we're gonna go. So this is a train park at Beecroft's train station. And that there used to be the old children's bookstore, which is gone, and next to that is a new 24/7 fitness. It's apparently going to be a southerly change. They say between 6 and 8 p.m. tonight. Hopefully it'll cool things down. It is New Year's Eve. And I want to talk about that whole fireworks thing, but apparently it's going ahead. So the big southerly is here and it's dropped like 20 degrees in the last hour and it's actually cool. So I'm back. I just wanted to give you my first week's experience with the new GoPro Hero 8 Black. And so far it's been a very pleasant experience. It's a very small camera and it's very portable. I'm still waiting for some accessories to come. I've actually ordered a lens glass screen protector for what it's worth, because I'm a little bit paranoid of the fact that you can no longer put a lens cap on this thing. Hopefully that'll help just maintain the scratch-free appearance of the front glass. Otherwise everything else seems to be going quite well. I'm being quite happy with the video quality so far. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about, and hopefully I've just found a fix, is that in indoors when there's some artificial kind of fluorescent light, the screen flickers. So all the playback and all the recording, it looks like it's a flicker. It's like, you know, when there's a light kind of above a ceiling fan, you get that flickering effect. And I've changed the settings on this thing and I've changed the frames per second to 60, and hopefully that'll fix that problem. So I'm going to test that and post it in the next segment of this video. But otherwise everything so far is going well. The battery life seems pretty good, and as I said, the image quality so far I've got no complaints about. Someone lazy has left the beer here after New Year's. Good morning guys, I'm currently hiding in my daughter's room because it's the only quiet room in the house, because I just want to show you something that arrived in the mail this morning. I'm just a little bit paranoid about the scratches on the lens. Now, I got this on eBay, so I don't know how good it's going to be. It comes in a little envelope. I ordered this, I think, on like New Year's Eve, and it's arrived today is the 3rd. So it's not too bad. And here it is. It's just a little container. What it is it's 3 screen protectors. So it comes with a glass protector for the back screen, which I've temporarily put a screen protector from an old phone screen protector that I've just cut. It apparently also gives you one for this screen and one for the lens. I guess the major issue with the lens one is, while it's good for protection, as long as it doesn't significantly degrade the quality of the image. If it does, I'm going to have to take it off, unfortunately. There is no way of putting a lens cap on this thing unless you attach it onto a cage, and that kind of defeats the purpose. And once you get the mod, which comes out hopefully in the next month or two, you won't be able to put the cage on anyway. So I've just removed the plastic tape on this thing, and inside there's a little kit. So it comes with some wipes, a screen cloth, a pair of tweezers, dust absorbing stickers, that which is obviously the thing that goes onto the front display. There's a kind of a rear one, and there is a lens one. So there's 2, and then I'm going to put them on, and you won't see any difference, hopefully, with the camera, because a good screen protector, you shouldn't even notice that it's on. So I've used the pair of tweezers and I've applied the thing to the front screen, and it's basically an adhesive one. There is no sort of backing sheet, so you just put it on and you just kind of smooth out the bubbles as best you can, and it's on. Hopefully you can't notice it. I'm going to progress to step number 2. And so for the back one, I've removed the one that I put on, the kind of improvised cut out one from a previous cell phone, and I'm going to use the wipe just to clean the screen a little bit. There's a wet and a dry, so you obviously use the wet one first, and then you get the dry wipe and you give that a similar wipe. So hopefully you have a pristine looking screen. And then I'm going to go ahead and put on this, which is the rear one. So that's what it looks like when it's on. I don't think that there is a layer that you've got to peel off at the front. Normally there's a front and a back layer, but I didn't see an instruction, so I'm going to leave it as is for the moment. And then all there is to go is to put the most important one, which is a protector for the lens.
Ready?
Yep. You could never do that before. tomorrow is meant to be 45 degrees, so I think it'll be indoors. We've just left the house and it's 45.4 degrees. Grab a trolley. So you got 6? Okay, let's go. Come on, slow coach. Are you hungry?
Yes.
How hungry? A little bit hungry or a lot hungry?
Not hungry.
Mum's taking a picture of us.
Look, you want to see the picture? Daddy has new eyes. Look.
That's cool. Welcome to episode 3 of our mini playground review. What do you like about this one?
Oh, look there. It's fun.
What did you find on there?
It's good.
What happened? You just told me someone showed their...
But
Right. Do you think it's too many people here?
yes.
There's way too many people at this park. And word of warning, kids, never go in that fountain over there because we've seen people.
Do we?
Yeah. Where are we
Let's go
going?
there.
This is not a good park as the ones we normally go to, is it?
Because there's just too many people.
Too many people.
There was too many people.
So say thank you for tuning in to episode number 3 of Local Urban Playground Reviews. This one's not the best, and this is also a story of why you shouldn't show your butt in the playground in front of other people. See ya.
Bye. Bye.
Who can say that this is not the best playground for kids ever?
Yeah.
It's just too crowded, and there's cigarette smoke, which we can smell here. It's not so much who can get up these stairs the quickest, it's who can get out of here the fastest. You said you like the park, now you're saying you don't like the park.
I do like the park now.
Because you're not there.
Yes.
Well, that's not really liking it. This should be the end of this video for our review of the GoPro Hero 8 Black. What better place to finish the video than on our phone.
Ladies and gentlemen, this stop is Susie.
So basically I think so far I've been really happy with this experience. I'm really looking forward to the GoPro mods that are coming out soon because it'll give me, I think in particular, it'll give me the LCD screen which allows me to see exactly how I'm going to frame it when I've got the camera pointed at me. I think the low light is actually improved now that I've changed the setting to 60 frames per second. And all in all, I'm happy. The battery life seems to be quite good. It seems very sturdy and I like using it with this shorty tripod cable. So just wanted to briefly end this video with one final comment. I'm not sure how well you could hear me on my boat video. but I just wanted to provide a final summary of my experience with the GoPro Hero 8 Black. And the intention of this video was to make it as a review for vloggers, not for action enthusiasts. So as you can see, I didn't do anything that involved a lot of action, and that wasn't the point of this video. The point of this video was how this camera could be used as a portable, convenient, light, everyday vlogging setup. And I think it ticks a lot of boxes from that regard. Once the mods come in, as I said, especially with the viewfinder, I think it's going to make this into an even better camera. So far I'm very happy with the video quality. The audio quality is also not bad, except obviously when there's a lot of ambient noise, which is not unexpected. The low light is pretty reasonable. I think I've fixed the problem with the 60 frames per second setting, where to avoid the flicker, but hopefully I'll continue to evolve that. The stabilization is excellent. The battery life is reasonable. You probably will need at least 3 if not 4 batteries, and it would be good to have an external battery pack so you could charge this on the go. The thing I'd recommend you buy is the dual battery charger. Makes it so much easier to charge your spare batteries. I know it's 90 bucks, but well worth it in my opinion. The time warp or the time lapse is also something which is significantly better than my experience with the DJI Osmo Pocket. All in all, for $500-600 bucks, this makes an awesome package for making videos like this. And just in terms of the screen protector, the glass one I got from eBay, which was about a third or a quarter of the price of the official GoPro one, I've noticed no significant decrease in the image quality, which is good. The other thing is, with the waterproof capabilities of this camera, when we were on the ferry yesterday, a lot of water spray got on this camera, and all I did was I got home and I just rinsed it under the tap. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If there's any comments or any questions, I'd really like to hear from you in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time in another video. See you later.